Africa Day, founded in 1963, marks the foundation of the Organization of African Unity, which was the precursor to the African Union. It's a day to reflect on the progress Africa has made as a continent, an opportune time to furthermore celebrate African heritage, culture, economic potential, and unity. Join me as I highlight Africa Day 2022's theme, nutrition, recognizing the success of the continent and to also reflect on the many global challenges that exist within Kenya, Rwanda, and Ghana. With a population of 25.37 million, Ghana's population is distributed and varied across 10 administrative regions and ecozones of the country, with 68% residing in rural areas and 32% in urban communities. Of the labor force industry, about 52% is engaged in agriculture and approximately 39% of the farm labor forces are women. Important to note, agriculture contributes to 54% of Ghana's GDP and accounts for over 40% of the country's export earnings. Over the years, the government of Ghana has been very supportive of the female fish processors, especially of the National Fish Traders and Processors Association. Although women predominantly play a key role in the post-harvest activities in the fisheries sectors, oftentimes they are faced with many obstacles and frequently does not have the same rights and opportunities as their male counterparts. The IYAFA, that's the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture, is part of the Sustainable Development Goals of works to eradicate hunger in Ghana, and as such have positioned themselves to playing an important role in recognizing and looking to the millions of small-scale fishers, fish farmers, and fish workers to provide healthy, nutritious foods to the Ghanaian masses. Raising nutrition awareness is of utmost importance. Formalities such as promoting the sustenance of nutritious healthy food is a great dialogue for habitual conversations. But the effectiveness of how the information is processed by the locals is still questionable, as there are persons who have expressed to us that the value of nutritional products stop at the value of the dollar. In essence, is dependent on what they can afford. We spoke with local Farmer A to gain some insights and outlook of the effectiveness of local farm production. Welcome, Farmer A. Talk to me about the nutritional food security in Ghana from your perspective.
Advocate. We need to advocate for our local farmers and businesses. Why? Because there's no fair trade when it comes to food security and nutritional values. They keep dumping chemicals that destroy our environment and keeping our immune system low on the continent of Africa. This needs to be changed immediately.
Do you think the chemical fertilizer used amongst the local farmers is of relevance and plays a role in the effectiveness of the nutritional value of the crops?
Yes, talking about chemical fertilizers and insecticides, this is what is causing low immune system and creating chronic diseases, and also destroying our environment. The diseases these things are causing some of these diseases are cancer, infertility, kidney failure, blindness, low IQ, and so on. We need to stop using them and use our local materials to produce our own organic fertilizers and insecticides, which are more healthier and human friendly.
Poultry predominates in the South and gives about 21% of the domestic livestock within the region. How is this industry relevant to the nutritional value of the local farmer?
Yes, the poultry industry in Ghana is dying slowly because the imported poultry to the country is more dangerous. It's killing the local poultry industry because these are very cheap. The masses also buy them even though it's not healthy. So the local poultry farmer need to be subsidized by the government. The cost of production is very expensive. Maize and soya beans, which are the main component of preparing the poultry feed, are very expensive. So the government need to see to these things and subsidize the local poultry farmer so they can compete with the one coming from foreign, which is even not healthy. But because it's cheap, the people go for it. This need to be addressed.
What would you say are some of the benefits for the locals to support local buying power of, products such as poultry and other products within Ghana?
Yeah, this will boost the immune system also. There will be decline in disease and aids in stronger health. It will save hospitals visit. More importantly, to start supporting our own. The structures are in place but are not celebrated by our locals. Also, the cheaper goods that are GMO produced to the locals via imports are killing the local market. Let's just face it, we are dealing with poverty, so it's of routine to buy what our money can afford. However, the Ghanaian government need to consider and prioritize and the local farmers and think health-wise of the benefit of producing non-GMO crops. That will help to boost the health of Ghanaians as well, and also help the National Health Insurance Scheme to make some savings.
It is my belief that an organic living structure and financial security are two main resources that are imperative, transformative subjects needed across the food, health, education, and social protection systems in order to achieve sustainable change. It's of due urgency that stakeholders assume a plan of action that involves these subjects to collaboratively work on improving these automated systems. Climate change is just as relevant as nutrition and is a top priority, an emergence that needs monumental investments in order for a systematic approach to thrive and prosper economically within the Ghanaian region.
Nice little ranch down the orchard. Well, if I veggie where we plant, me not go hungry. Come and say, no GMO in our pantry. Give me a firm foundation when no Sunday. Him not no whole heap of money, but we comfortable. Him and me together, man, we compatible. Treat me like a queen, don't make me vulnerable. Nah, give me stress, don't make me miserable. Even though sometimes this pocket's empty, sometimes little, sometimes plenty. Oh, oh, the life on 100 houses, the deepest river, not the longest.
Nutritional value is of importance. The benefits of a healthy nutrition as phenomenal factors. The ability to increasing one's energy level aids in the reduction of various diseases such as cancer, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, high cholesterol, and blood pressure. A positive, healthy nutrition ensures that your body receives the proper nutrients, minerals, vitamins, and foods that are low in calories. Rwanda, l'espace des mille collines, land of 1,000 hills, known for its breathtaking scenery, is a spectacular, multicultural, multilingual country with widely spoken languages, English, French, and Kinyarwanda. The capital, Kigali, located in the center of the country on the Rugania River. Rwanda is 104th in the overall Prosperity Index rankings and by all means is one of the poorest countries where a huge percentage of the people are living below the poverty line. An alarming 90% rate of the population lives on less than $2 per day, and half of Rwanda's population lives on less than $1 per day. The life expectancy rate is low, and malnutrition is very high, where malaria and respiratory diseases are prevalent within the country. The National Food and Nutrition Policy, NFNP, has in place a commitment to enhancing the innovative multi-sector and sector-specific strategies to assure that Rwanda's food and nutrition improvement is prioritized. Food and nutrition remains foundational issues that are of importance and on Rwanda's radar of plans for economic development and poverty reduction. Where the National Food and Nutrition Policy focuses on the national resolve to substantially reduce the prevalence of stunting among children under 2 years of age, it also recognizes the importance of working to improve food security in households, particularly amongst the most vulnerable families. A recent overview by the Global Nutrition Report indicates that Rwanda is on course to meet 3 of the global nutrition targets with sufficient data to assess its progress. Progress has been made towards achieving the stunting target. On average, 33.1% of children under 5 years of age are still affected, a higher percentage on average for the African region of 30.7%. There is also a reduction of anemia amongst women of reproductive age, with 17.2% of women aged 15 to 49 years are now affected. Also, some progress has been made towards achieving a low birth weight target, with 7.9% of infants having a low weight at birth. The prevalence of overweight children under 5 years of age is 5.6%. However, a feat that Rwanda is on course to prevent an increase in the future. Africa's adult population faces a malnutrition burden. Diabetes is prevalent amongst an average 9.9% of adult women, compared to 9.7% of men. Meanwhile, 20.7% of women and 9.2% of men are living with obesity. A recent analysis by UN Women found that 2/3 of countries report higher rates of food insecurity for women compared to men, and it is estimated that more than 1 billion women do not have access to the adequate nutrition and healthy diets they need to survive and thrive. As the Rwanda Global Nutrition Report highlights, an exclusive breastfeeding target with a breastfed 86.9% of infants aged 0 to 5 months, it is my belief that nutritional programs and policies that support reducing a child's predisposition to obesity and works to prevent other illnesses later in life should be a priority to how we advocate for women's nutrition. Investing in a woman's nutrition helps to curb a healthy lifestyle and that of a baby. Specifically and in support of gender equality, it is a basic right for women everywhere to lead healthy, productive lives. Relevant studies have shown that applying cost-effective nutrition can lead to lowering child and maternal mortality in order to build healthier moms and babies. It is important to raise awareness to these findings, to focus on improving policies, and to work towards increasing additional nutritional resources. It is time to make nutrition more than an investment. Nutrition is a right and should be the main focus. As research continues to prove that early investments in nutrition is the foundation for developing children to their full potential, it is of importance to build and expound on the validity and the nutritional value of the bearers of life. Women are our nurturers and should be prioritized.
No nation rise higher than a woman. In her womb is life unseen. She's called wisdom. She's a queen, indigenous to the earth. She's a royal, divine being. She speaks of things no one has ever dreamed or seen. Strong Rasta woman, champion woman, resilient woman, conscious woman. Stand up and fight and defend, I'm a woman. Love up and kiss up me king, I'm a woman. Womb of Solomon, yes, I'm a woman. Alpha Omega, yes, I'm a woman. Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Mother Africa, a woman. No nation rise higher than a woman. Truth is your fire, truth is your weapon. Truth you are gonna use, defeat the dragon. Truth you are gonna use and lash him. Truth you are gonna use and watch out him whole world crashing. Remember, you're on me counter iron. Who is your mama? You give birth to the conquering lion. Strong Rasta woman, champion woman, resilient woman, conscious woman. Stand up and fight and defend, I'm a woman. Love up and kiss up me king, I'm a woman. Womb of Solomon, yes, I'm a woman. Alpha Omega, yes, I'm a woman. Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Mother Africa, a woman. No nation rise higher than a woman. In her womb is life unseen. She's called wisdom. She's a queen. Mama, remember, you come from Zion. Remember, you're at Mekota Iron. Who is your mama? You give birth to the conquering lion. Strong Rasta woman, champion woman, resilient woman, conscious woman. Stand up and fight and defend, I'm a woman. Love up and kiss up me king, I'm a woman. Womb of Solomon, yes, I'm a woman. Alpha Omega, yes, I'm a woman. Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Mother Africa, a woman. No nation rise higher than a woman. When mama gets sleepy, then her whole world get blind. Call pa mama now. Wake up time. You're responsible for.
Welcome to Kenya. For over 30 years, the small town of Iten, located in Elgeyo Marakwet County, has produced a long list of world-class long-distance athletes. The birthplace that shapes world champions, Iten, the home of champions.
Never you give up on your dreams. Believe in yourself. Don't mess with your life. Don't let nobody try to keep you from your dreams. I tell you this, cause only you can make it happen, yeah. Cause you are the master of all that you suffer. Look to the future, that's what matters, yeah. No matter what they say, believe in yourself, oh. No matter what happens, believe in yourself. Hey. No matter what it takes, believe in yourself. No matter what it is, believe in yourself. Oh, oh yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Understanding the relationship between nutrition and health is more than a lifestyle and genes. The subject of diet, malnutrition, anemia, and obesity are interchangeably relevant terms used to describe Kenya's overall health issues. Obesity, defined as physical inactivity and that stems from poor diet, lifestyle, and genes, routinely increases the rise of many disorders such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart diseases, and cancer. By recent research and studies, Kenya's Global Nutrition Report shows limited or no progress towards achieving the target for obesity and anemia. There is an estimated 13.4% of adult women and 3.6% of adult men living with obesity. Kenya's obesity prevalence is lower than the regional coverage of 20.7% for women and 9.2% for men. By estimation, diabetes is affected on account 7.3% of adult women and 7% of adult men, respectively. In 2018, the Kenya Nutrition Action Plan, the KNAP, was introduced and designed to tackle malnutrition throughout various stages. From onset, a constructed approach to target the root causes of malnutrition, with particular emphasis on community health services, food production, education, social protection, and water supply. Supporting strategies were designed to help achieve these aims with the government in tow, and that included supportive works within various nutritional networks such as the SUN, the Scaling Up Nutrition Business Network Kenya strategy, recognizes the role of the private sector in making safe and nutritious food available and affordable. As well, the Kenya Agri-Nutrition Strategy that focuses on securing access to safe, diverse, and nutritious food. The Kenya Nutrition Monitoring and Evaluation Framework ensures government and partners can monitor the progress and success of the KNAP. National Nutrition Fact Sheet, programmatic guidelines and policies in maternal, infant, and young child nutrition. Implementing a framework to secure the support of breastfeeding in a friendly environment within workspaces, the works to strengthen the national food chain and community production are ongoing relevant measures and aid to resolve the issues in a timely process. However, with some strategic in-place security, the early warning signs of famine have placed on analysis and food insecurity within the East African region. The Famine Early Warning Systems, the FEWS network, estimates and expects a whopping 4 to 5 million people will be in need of humanitarian food assistance. Why? This has been a fourth consecutive below-average season of minimal rainfall from March to May, seasons that usually have produced longer rain season for northern and eastern Kenya. The main season that usually brings longer rains were less than 60%, and the areas of northern and eastern Kenya receive less than 40 to 45% of the 40-year average, respectively. For instance, the lack of rainfall season has brought forth minimal livestock productivity, very low cropping, and widespread death amongst livestock. Kenya's NDMA, the National Drought Management Authority report, suggests a huge loss of an alarming 1.5 million worth of livestock. Particularly cattle and sheep have died between October 2021 and March 2022, and have recently reported deaths of children under 5 years of age due to severe acute malnutrition complications in Wajir County. Kenya have experienced a decline in purchasing power due to large gaps in food consumption. Households are increasingly applying consumption and livelihood-based coping strategies for their regular scheduled daily activities, such as purchasing food on credit, reducing the number and size of meals, sending household members to eat elsewhere, reducing expenses on health, and eating seed stocks. The result? Due to the overall decline in household access to food, currently there is an increased level of malnutrition for millions of households, particularly on the rise in the eastern and northern regions of Kenya. Despite the real-life happenings and experiences, the high-level fuel and price of fertilizer continues to rise, which ultimately over time will raise production costs. Forecasters have now signaled that there will be even a shorter rain season between October to December of 2022. A shorter rainy season means setting the stage for an unprecedented 5-season drought. Ultimately, climate change is a major factor, is instrumental, plays a major role in the overall productivity of how nutrition is expensed within the various contexts, and that should not be overlooked. Prioritizing a climate change agenda includes adopting small changes to our daily activities that can help to eradicate long-term consequences. Unfortunately, a huge portion of our global audience fail to recognize the impact climate change has placed on our livelihood, and that affects our food, health, and energy, a threat to our global economies. As the various countries, Ghana, Rwanda, and Kenya, seek new ways to stabilize nutritional competence of the overall economies, it is important to include a plan of action to seek resources that embodies clean, healthy, green, and safe living. Nutrition should not be secondary, but the major primary factor. There is major work to be done to eradicate hunger, malnutrition, anemia, and obesity. There needs to be an emergence of investment in food security for Ghana, advocating for the proper nutrients for our women in Rwanda, tackling obesity, whilst constructing a plan to support the signs of early famine in Kenya. Overall, a significant and sustained scale-up of humanitarian assistance is needed to save lives and livelihood. Whilst we continuously search for systemic change, there must be a push to secure a more sustainable economy, and preferably one of nutritional value that works for both people and our planet.